Greetings, everyone. I'm Bryon Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. Hope everybody's doing well. Wait, I believe everybody's doing well. I have faith everybody's doing well, and everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm excited yet again because I have another extraordinary person here today, Monica Ramirez. And before she says anything to us, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. So, Monica Ramirez is a transformational belief coach. She can help you go from confusion to confidence so that you can design the life of your dreams. She can guide you to freedom and be empowered into loving yourself. She is a Reiki Master, certified life coach, Neuro-Linguistic Programmer, beyond quantum healer, hypnotherapist, multidimensional energy healer, psychic channeler, galactic Akashic, how do you say that?
Akashic.
Akashic, reader, public writer, established artist, and podcaster, founder of Path to the Heart transformational system that offers in the 3-phase certification. She works with groups and coaching one-on-one. Wow, amazing. So let's just get right into it. How did this come about that you became a transformational coach?
Well, I believe, like many of us, we started because we're trying to transform our lives. I was very ill. I have lupus, RA, and fibromyalgia, and I was needing to heal myself, and I did. I did heal myself, and that's when I saw what I did. I started reviewing my life, and I started reviewing, obviously, my own transformation, and that's where I wrote the program, the Path to the Heart, and that's what I teach.
Wow. So you wrote this program, and so that your own healing yourself inspired you. How did you go about healing yourself, though? I mean, how did you find out exactly what to do? I mean, did you find a certain person? What research did you do to be able to do that?
Well, yes, I come from a family of healers.
Right.
My family, they're always been into this. Even if I grew up in a very religious Catholic, I
Right.
studied with nuns, and I came to understand that many of the ideas that we have, and they got us stuck. Those are the programs that we have, the limitations that we have. That comes with the fears and what you deserve and whether you don't deserve, and so on. So
Yes.
and uh, and I've been married 4 times, and obviously that was a lot of. I see everything now as my teachers. They were all my teachers. I can't even I can mention that because yes, I do have many teachers. Of course, my teachers in New Zealand, in England, in Mexico, in different parts. My sister is also a shaman,
Wow.
and I thought, and I saw that that I was needing, obviously, that transformation, and my teachers that I had also helped me into heal myself and to learn from everything, and everything is actually a teaching that helped me to understand where how I provoke my sickness. I am a true believer that all the sickness are psychosomatic, and
Yes.
I have to go. And I love the book of I like to read, and the book of
Yes.
You Can Heal Yourself from oh my God, I forgot her name. It's a very famous author and speaker. You Can Heal Yourself, and oh my God, it just space out.
Yeah. That happens to me all the time when I'm trying to. No, I don't want to reaffirm that. It has happened to me plenty of times. It has happened to me where I go to try to think of somebody that I'm really into, or I read plenty of their books, or I follow them, and then I couldn't think of their names.
I
So
always have it. I always talk about her, and I will
yes,
remember.
yes,
But and I started understanding why I provoked myself the lupus. It was a
right,
bottom of auto-destruction, basically, that I put to myself. I used to be very depressed. That it was part of the same lupus that get you very depressed because you don't have the energy, you lost the hope of life,
Right.
and I did not have the guts also to kill myself. So I provoked a sickness that it was going to destruct me, and I didn't have to be responsible killing myself because according to the religion, you can't commit suicide. So
Right.
it was easier to provoke me a sickness. So I did, and I suffered for that 10 years, and of course I was different doctors, medications, and everything, and I was just getting worse until I got to the point that I was having epilepsy and I could not drive for 1 year, and my life was depending on everybody to be around me and taking medications, and I got really, really tired.
Wow.
And I could not continue like that. I have to do something drastically. And I felt like a 80-year-old woman going to a rheumatologist with
Wow.
all the old people, and I was like, and I is like, I can't be this. This is can't happening to me.
Yes.
So when I took two master classes in New Zealand from an amazing teacher that I adore, Karen Janelle Davis, and those classes were to become a more magical self, to waking up my magical self.
Wow.
And when I start feeling that magic and I start channeling more openly, I realize that I've been channeling all my life, and I realize that I've been guided all my life, and I start observing the things that everything that had happened to me,
Yes.
it was just lessons, so I
Right.
uh, so I can learn from them, including all my bad experience and all my bad choices. At the same time, they were, I stopped being the victim. And when
Right.
I stopped being the victim, that's when everything started changing.
Changing. Let me elaborate on that. Let me interject with that a little bit because that's so powerful. And I want to make sure I highlight that because I was just speaking to someone earlier today and the same thing came about. And that never gets old. Once we get to a point that we stop being the victim, that we realize that whatever is happening in our life is for our highest good. Just like at the beginning of the show, I said everything is unfolding perfectly. It always is. It's just the only difference is how you're thinking about it.
Mhm.
And another thing, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but you just said so many things, and I just have to just to elaborate a bit on it. What I think is so, in my opinion, my perspective, that I think is also so amazing about you is that although growing up in a religious family like me, and we all know, and I am not in any way uh, uh, downplaying or criticizing any religion at all. I grew up in a religious family. Most of my family still are, um, Christian and Catholic mixture. But what I was going to say is that although you grew up in a religious family, you still developed a mindset to be open and to come to the realization that you were creating your own illness. And the reason why I say that that's so special because I know from experience that a lot of people, when we have a religious mindset, we don't think like that. We don't think about, oh, we're causing this illness to ourselves. We think it's outside circumstances or it's the devil that's doing it, you know, or something like that. So for you to get to that place and open yourself up to um, be open to listen to all these different perspectives and these different teachers, I think it's just absolutely amazing, especially coming from, a religious background, because oftentimes religion, we are really structured in that box of that religion, and that's it. Anything outside of that is considered not acceptable or evil, or so that. So
Yes.
that's just amazing that your journey took you to a place where now you not only overcame and are overcoming, whatever you have been through, but you're able to appreciate it for the person it's created you to be. Um, you're able to take lessons and blessings from everything that you've been through and to look at it in that way, which, like you said, takes you out of that mindset of being a victim.
Yes,
Beautiful.
I did
Yes.
mention, I did study with nuns, but when I was 21, I divorced from the church
Right.
and I let it go. And that's when I started studying all the religions. And I was always very curious. They kicked me out of school a bunch of times because I asked many questions, and
Right.
they did not wanted to answer me, or they did not knew the answer. Like an example was when they tell me, "Oh, God lives in the dogs, in the animals, in the plants, everywhere, but you, human, you have to go to the church. So like that, you
Right.
can talk to church, to God."
Right.
And it's like then I'm less than a dog, and of course they kicked me out that day. Of course, so it's cool,
Oh,
and
of
that was
course.
in
Of course.
Mexico.
Let me stop you right there. Those questions came from your own intuition, your own heart, your own God inside of you. And oftentimes, when we ask those questions, like you said, in religion, because they're structured a certain way, they don't like it. So
No,
I've been there too, where I started to ask even members of my family that are very religious. Like I said, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody's religion because I believe that if you're in a religion and that religion is making you a better person, or you believe that religion is making you a better person, enhancing your life, and it resonates with your soul, then that's for you, so fine. Um, Other than that, just like you, I had always had questions within myself from certain things that um, pastors of the church were saying, or preachers, or even certain interpretations of the Bible. I would ask questions that would not fit into what they thought I should ask, and it wasn't that I was trying to be negative at all or trying to be, something. It was just a question that was obviously in my heart and my soul so that I can have an understanding, because I don't want to just follow something that I do not have an understanding of. I want to have a complete understanding of something and not just follow it because someone says I should follow it, or because this is the tradition that we always did this. Okay, well, why? You know? And oftentimes that's in certain uh, circles, that's frowned upon when you ask why. So we know that.
yes.
So I just want to say that it took a lot of not only courage, but just I want to commend you for following your own intuition and seeking answers, from several sources, you know, and seeking those answers that resonate with your own soul, you know.
Yes.
Yes.
Like I mentioned, I have a shaman sister, and I went to many, also many sun dances. I did many ceremonies, Indian ceremonies, American Indian ceremonies, and I was growing up in Veracruz, Mexico. I was
Wow.
surrounded by 300 zones, archaeology zones, and I used to be also a lot with the Mexican Indians, Totonacas to be exact. And I was learning about Gaia, about nature, about also our inner powers in there. And as I was growing up at the same time that at the church when I was little,
Yes.
and I was always in that contact. And I started meditating close to 30 years, about 35 years, because I opened a school of metaphysics in Veracruz close to
Wow.
30 years ago, and I was teaching also the same things and meditation and so forth. And in that time, I did not believe that I was a channeler. I did not believe even in channelers in that time until, but I am an artist, and I did not question in that time where all the inspiration was coming from, through my poetry and through my paintings, until finally I got encounter with all that. And when I started working with my teacher in New Zealand, that's when I encountered that. Like, oh my God, all my life I've been doing this since I am a kid. And of course, religion, it was a deal breaker for me completely. I I don't have religion. I don't believe in religions.
Right.
I believe some people needs it because that marks them for them to be good.
Right.
When in
Structure.
reality, yes,
Structure. Right.
and and some people need
Discipline.
fear to be a good person. If
Right.
they don't believe, if they don't, and that's one of the big reasons is that the religions completely disappear from the people that actually needs it. Are there gonna be good people? Everybody.
Right.
Some people needs to feel fear so they don't go and killing people.
Right. Right. That's a good way to put it. Yes.
And many of us that we have grown in our conscience and to be good persons because we are, and we don't need that.
Right.
And we I work with people to bring down the fear and to actually eradicate all those old programs that have got us stuck. That's why I'm a transformational belief coach, because
Exactly.
all those beliefs are the ones that get us stuck and make us feel unworthy,
Right.
or not make us believe in ourselves enough.
Right. A lot of fear-based ide- ideology um, in my growing up in the church. A lot of fear, based, not empowering. And now I am thankful that I'm in a place where I feel empowered and I feel closer to source, God, the universe, than ever before.
Yes.
So yes, I totally resonate with what you're saying. Amazing.
The best way to control people, even if I work with a lot of, right now I'm working more with females, but I do work with once in a while with males.
Right.
It is the old programs that if you have to have certain patterns, if not, you're a bad man or you're a good woman, or a bad woman. And you have to have certain patterns. And who put those norms in
Right.
reality? Who put that norms beside of the society? Who
Right.
formed that society? It is the same religion. And those are going to tell you how to be happy, how you have to behave. But in reality, if that's not for you, that's not for you. And we have seen in the history that before you were a female, you have to follow certain patterns. You have uh, go
Right.
study, go get
Wear
married,
certain clothes. Yeah.
and get married, have kids, become a grandma, take care of your kids, be a good
Right.
wife, and get old and die. But now, we're in 2020. Not every 2021. Not
Right.
everybody wants to get married or have kids,
Right.
and it doesn't make it a bad person
Right.
because it's not following the status quo, and things have changed for many females, and now the divorce is more accepted than it used to be.
Right.
I'm not,
Because yeah, you don't have to stay where you're being abused and hide it, or being unhappy just to satisfy your family, or just to satisfy tradition, or just to satisfy what your father or your mother believes. You really can follow your own bliss and really be happy.
yes.
Yes. And that is very liberating. And I am, I'm thankful that it's happening that way now.
Yes, and to find yourself, what do you are, what do you want? The majority of the people do not even question that. They follow whatever their parents or society or church
Right.
or whoever tell them what to think and what is they should want
Right.
without questioning that. And
Right.
they're not happy if they actually start questioning themselves. They're gonna find out that they wanted a very different life.
Right. Right. That's amazing. Because even I can resonate with that too, because it got to the point where that's when I really uh had a total shift in my life. Unlike you being already having these gifts. I mean, we all have gifts, but being in tune, so to speak, with your gifts at a young age. I wasn't. So I got to a point where things were happening, started to get so bad in my mind or in my circumstances too, that I really started questioning. Um, I turned within myself instead of looking at other things. And that's when I really started that transformation. It's just looking at, okay, why am I here? Why are these same things happening over and over? And when I start taking responsibility and saying, what is the common denominator in these same things that keep happening and occurring in my life? It's me. And it's the way that I'm thinking. And part of my thinking, and not really to place blame, it was the way that I was programmed and the way that I was brought up to think a certain way, um, about certain things. Not trying to say that all the bad decisions that I made was somebody else's fault. No, I totally accept responsibility for the decisions that I made. But I'm saying the way I went about just uh my total thinking, fear based, a lot of negativity, um, a lot of judgment, as far as other people, a lot of gossiping about other people, a lot of focusing on negative. And I believe I drew in a lot of that to me because of what I was putting out there. The words, the way I spoke, the way I thought was attracting, like you said, was attracting disease to me in different ways, you
Yeah.
know, disease and circumstances in my life. And once I got to the point where I realized that, then that's when the change began.
Yes. It is easy to feel the victim because then you can control and manipulate others, like the same churches,
Right.
because that is going through fear. You instill fear to others, and I'm gonna kill myself, or I'm gonna die, I'm gonna have a heart attack, or poor me, I am the victim of all this society, or this and that. It,
Also, when you keep people in fear, and I'm not going to even name anything, but you know what I'm talking about. When you keep people in fear, you keep people uh, confused about their own power. You keep people dependent upon whatever you want them to be dependent upon. So a lot of things have happened by design. Someone put it out there like that to, like you said, control people, control the way people think, control the way people feel about themselves. They're not liberated. When you are living in fear, you're not liberated. You're less likely to rise up and do what you want, and make something of yourself and live a liberated life that you don't need, you know, this certain people or this organization. You don't need it. You have everything in
you don't
here.
need intermediaries to talk directly to source.
Right.
You don't
Right.
need that.
You don't need a go between.
No, no.
Yeah.
And the karma that also all the gurus in the past that they were needing the codependence because it's a business. I'm not gonna
Right.
say the best business in the world are churches, and you
Right.
see it. You can even Google this. The Catholic Church, my God, they even have a bank. You know,
Oh, of course.
yes,
Catholic Church is very, we
we
all know, I mean, and this is not in any way negative, but we all know the Catholic Church as a whole, as an organization, is very well off financially. That's why, the Catholic churches that you see around the world are very elaborate, um, and very beautiful and very expensive. And it's a money making thing, of course.
and many gurus work in the past. It was also great for them
Right.
until it came, I believe, in 2012. That's when it ended. I do not follow any guru. I don't believe in gurus because it's a way to control and manipulate. So they're gonna try the same techniques, many of
Right.
them,
Right.
as any religion in the world. And I don't even like to call myself healer
Right.
because healer, you're taking the power to other people. Oh,
Right.
poor you, you can't heal yourself, so let me heal you. Your power is
Yes.
more powerful
Yes.
than you.
Right.
That's why I call myself coach,
Right.
because I just help them to
Yeah.
relax.
Encourage, inspire. That's
Yes,
what I like to say too, as well. Yeah,
to,
because
yes, to teach them how they can heal
yeah,
themselves.
empower people.
Exactly.
Yes. That's
Because
why I use that word even in this platform. Enlightened, empowered, evolved, which is I enlighten people, for what they don't know, empower people. So I'm not trying to take your power or trying to tell you that I'm the only one that has the power. No, I want to empower you so that you have it, and,
yes,
and that can identify you already have it, but so about how to go about identifying and using it, and you know and evolved. We all evolve
yes, I
if you're open to evolve. I mean, some people want to stay.
yes. Something that I came to understand a long time ago, it is you can't change anyone. The only one who
Right.
can change is yourself.
Self. Thank you.
And that is even to awaken people. You can go and awaken people. People is their
No.
choice to awake or not, to
Right.
become responsible or not.
Right.
And we can't force anyone. It doesn't matter. It is our own kids.
Right.
It is their choice.
You're
And
absolutely
everybody has
right.
their own path, and we're all unique and different. And
But I
that's
do know this: when you change yourself, circumstances around you change.
that's why we call ourselves wishowers at the same time.
Right.
Because when you change, first of all, you're vibrating different. You're
Right.
emanating a different kind of energy, and people are observing you. They're
Right.
always observing you, and they can feel it if they come around you that you are different. And they're going to say, what did you did?
Right.
And for me, the people that knew me before, when I was sick, they saw
Right.
me how sick I was. They saw me, I was living in pain, I had swollen, and I couldn't even get up from bed.
Right.
And as an artist, I had two galleries, and they saw me how sick I was. And now they see me, and they see me. I look even younger than then. I am one. I have more energy, and they tell me, "How do you work so many hours?" Because I have the energy to do it, and I couldn't do it before. I just didn't have the energy. It just left after I got sick, and now I feel like in my 30s again, when I'm in my 50s now, and I feel, and I will not change that. If you ask me if you want to go back to your 30s, I'm so happy because now I have the knowledge and the wisdom that through everything that I have lived to be who I am now, and now I can help be a better service to others in
Right.
this moment, and letting go of fears. You've encountered a fear, affront it, don't let it go. Like I explained them, I grew up in Veracruz that is tropical,
Right.
and you see a snake going into your house, you can't let it go because you don't know where it's gonna get, and it might bite you when you're asleep. So you
Right.
have to go after that snake,
Right.
and get it out or do whatever, because or else it's gonna bite your kids or yourself. So you can let it go, and the same applies for the fear. If you let it go, that fear is gonna bite you sooner or later, or it's gonna affect your family. Your same fear, and that is your own limitation. So you can't let it go. You have to go after it, and you have to affront it. And that's the only way you're gonna be liberated of the same fear that you've been limiting you all your life.
Wow. And I just have to say this. This is kind of off of that topic, but you mentioned Veracruz. I just got finished talking to a friend of mine, Ernesto Oliveras, and his wife. That's where they are right now, Veracruz. That's where his wife Belinda is from, Veracruz.
Yes,
Yes.
it's
So
beautiful.
yeah, he was trying to take me out there, but I can't go right now. But he said sometime he wants me to go with him. But yeah, I've been to with my wife too. Her family is from Morelia.
Ah, yes, this is
Yeah, so
beautiful.
I've been there. Beautiful, beautiful Spanish, of course, architecture, architecture there. So it's beautiful. So yes. And I wanted to ask you too, while it's on my mind, now you are an artist. So I know you painted that beautiful painting behind you.
Yes.
Yes. Now, do you have a title? There's two of them. I'm talking about the one with the wings right there that I can see clearly. Is there a title to that?
That one I just finished that. I'm making a new collection of my higher selves
Wow.
and past lives. I also do past life regressions, and of course I have done it to myself, and I've been remembering more and more of my past lives and the knowledge that I have then so I can integrate myself. And that's one of my past lives. I haven't
Wow.
named it yet. I just finished that one. I'm gonna have an art exhibit very soon. So
Beautiful.
I have not put name on it yet.
So
And
where's your art exhibit going to be? Where?
in Mission, Texas, in
Oh,
this,
in Texas.
yes,
Mission.
that's where I live.
Okay. I have other friends also that moved from here where I live in California. They live in San Antonio now.
Oh yes, it's about
Yes.
4 hours away from me.
Yeah. But that's a beautiful painting. So how long have you been painting?
40 years.
40 years?
40 years.
What inspired you to start painting? Just is it just therapeutic? You just always had that feeling?
My mother is an artist,
Oh,
and
that's right. You said that.
yes, my mother is
Yes.
an artist, and she used to put me to paint when I was 6. So I don't bother her, and so she got me my canvas, and I started doing my own thing, and she was there doing her own thing, and I started exhibiting when I was 13 years old,
You started
and
what?
exhibiting my work.
Oh, exhibiting. I thought you said singing. I was about to say I want to hear it.
No, that one
So
I don't do. I'm terrible.
exhibiting your work. Wow. At what age?
13.
13. You had your own art exhibit at 13?
Yes.
Wow.
And well, it was not my solo art exhibit. I participated with several artists. I had many solo art exhibits now. I exhibit all around the world. I have paintings in Europe, in Mexico, in all the United States, Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles, in Burbank for a year. And I have exhibit all around the world in Palermo, in England, in Spain, in I
Wow.
exhibit all around the world.
Wow. Now, is there a way that I can see your paintings online anywhere or no?
Yes, the art of Monica Ramirez in Facebook. I have a fan page.
Okay, so I want that link. If you could, after this segment, message me that link so that I can also add that to the description of this video. If you already have it, maybe you sent that to me already.
The art, I try to. That is the hard part
Oh, you
to.
want to separate that? Okay.
But it's been blending and blending more because I came to realize like that piece, it was a channel piece,
Right.
and it's been even if I beginning was trying to separate them, it's just
Okay.
trying to
I
blend
understand.
them more. And my webpage, Monica Ramirez Warrior of Love, I do put a link to my paintings now.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So basically I'll reword that now. Um if you feel that you want to share that link separate and give it to me, you can, and I can put it in the video. If not, I'll just put the links that you already shared with me and they can find it through there.
I don't mind. I can send it to you. It is all me.
Yes, I want
Now,
to. I
what
personally
I do-
want to click on that link and see your paintings. I want to see that, especially after seeing that. I want to see what you have. And you can also purchase online too.
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I want to look. I love art. I'm not a painter, but I like looking at paintings, of course. So let me ask you. So you work with people. So how does that how do you go about connecting with people that or do they seek you? Do they click on your website? How do people find you? I mean, how do you
I
end up
have
working with people?
I have many different classes. Like right now in October 20, I'm gonna have a mini class, how to raise your standards and walk away from Mr. Wrong. And in that one is talking about a lot of your responsibilities. Stop being the victim, first of all, to start
Right,
empowering women and
right,
work with shames and blames and so forth.
right,
And from there, we are gonna be loving yourself, falling in love with yourself, and so forth. So like that, or else we continue repeating the same mistake over and over. And
Absolutely.
what I wanted to teach in this class is basically for how not to repeat the same mistakes. That's your choice.
Right.
And from there I have my system, path of the heart. I divide it in three because it's a very long one, where I go to from that point to empowering people and go more profound and more deeply. Is we go to that's the first level. The second level, it is more esoteric. It's about past lives and so forth, and we finish with a soul retrieval
Uh,
and cleaning family lineage and so forth. I work a lot with removing the old programs, and that they're getting us stuck. And the third level, that is completely more spiritual. That's where I teach people how to channel and all the ways of channeling, and how to develop your psychic powers and so forth.
wow.
And for that, I do have the certification for channeling, so on my system, and like that, they can be teaching others at the same time, because we all wanted to first heal ourselves, but then after we heal ourselves,
Yes,
we want to also teach others how to do that.
exactly. That's exactly how it goes. That's exactly how it goes. That's exactly why I'm here doing what I'm doing, is because of what I've went through, um, and just the liberating, you know, the liberation that I have experienced, and just um, connecting with people like yourself, extraordinary people like yourself. It's just through that I want to reach out and be a living testimony to other people, and just show people, make them aware of what I know, you know,
Yes,
and
I
and
want
and
to.
so that, because I want them to feel the way I feel, I'm talking about as far as the happiness and the joy and the inner peace and the harmony, you want to share that. You don't want to keep it to yourself. So
Yes, but
I
always giving the
yes.
option to if the ones that are ready to looking for the teacher, they're going
Right.
to find the teacher. We
When
can't
the
force.
student is ready, the teacher will appear. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Because like you said, and excuse me for my interruption, but it's exciting me. Like you said, you cannot force anyone if they're not ready. I mean, you can plant seeds,
Yes.
but if someone's not ready, they don't want to understand, they don't understand, or whatever it may be, it's not going to happen. If they're not open for something, another perspective, you're not going to change them. They have to be ready. And I can attest to that, because you yourself went through something in life that caused you to be ready. So no one made you be ready, just like me. No one made me open up. I had to do that myself. And then when I let go and let myself open up and start receiving different information and perspectives, and seeking and asking questions, that's when things start to shift and change for me. But no one forced that on me, like you said.
The majority of the people that wake up, or the ones that are healers, and even that's my first question I always ask in my podcast. How was your awakening?
Right.
Because we pass through trauma, or a death of someone, or divorce, or something, or the car accident, or they almost died, or something happened to them. So it makes us force us, or got sick, like in my case, and force us to wake up and start actually digging inside. Before, we used to think that the life that we created, it is it just happened to us. But
It's
when we
just
start
set like that. That's it.
but when
Yes.
we start realizing, when we start working with ourselves, we realize that we are creating our reality through our
Right.
emotions and our thoughts. And if we wanted to change it outside, we have to first do it inside.
Right. Right. Yes, exactly. And I have to say a little bit more about what you said. We can get brought down, so to speak, to our knees by an illness, and, like you say, be forced to um, look in. But even then, there's some people. that still won't, even through the illness, they still don't get it. They still won't. They still will self-destruct and blame here, and oh, God is punishing me or you, or oh, this just happened. They still don't get it. It's still not, they still don't wake up yet. So
And they won't never wake up because
yeah,
I
some
think
don't.
I
Some
work
don't.
I work a lot with past lives and so forth, and of course I do regressions and we talk with the higher self. And many people have the contract not to wake up.
Right.
What to is and it's their choice, and they deserve to be listened and heard.
Right.
And if that's their choice,
Right.
it's fine. It is we all different.
Maybe in the next life they'll wake up.
Maybe.
Yes, maybe, maybe not.
How many
Yes.
times I also ask all the time, how many times you have repeat the same life
Right.
with the
Right.
same mistake? Just think about it. Is when that you wanted to change it? Because if you could not change it, or you're bored in this one, how many times you've been repeating the same life?
Right. Over and over
Yes,
because you won't wake up.
yes.
Right. Wow, it's amazing. It's been amazing talking to you. Now, you're going to share, I'm going to share your links, of course, on this video when it's uploaded. But while we're here, can you share a few links? How can people find you?
Yes, Monica Ramirez, Warrior of Love. Monica Ramirez, Warrior of Love. .com. That's my page. And also, you can find me as Monica Ramirez, Warrior of Love, in Facebook.
Prayer of Love. I like that too. Wow, amazing.
Yes.
Yes. So before we go, before we end this segment, will you have any um, last ideas, concluding statements you would like to say?
Yes, do the inner work. Do and learn how to love yourself and find who you are. Ask the questions. What did you want? Because you can have it. No one is putting the limit on you except for yourself.
Right.
So, hey, the sky is not the limit. There are way more than that. And remove your own blockage or search for help. There's a lot of help right now everywhere if you really want it.
Yes. Now I got to ask you one more thing, and you can decide whether you want to do it or not. The same thing that you just said right now, your last statements, your concluding words. Can you repeat that same thing in Spanish?
Sí.
Yes.
El cielo no es el límite. Tú te pones tus propias barreras, tus propios bloqueos. Si tú quieres cambiarlo, lo puedes llegar a hacer. Es cuestión simplemente tuya en removerlos o no, porque todo es tu decisión al final de cuentas. Entonces, si quieres ayuda, hay mucha gente que te puede ayudar ahorita. Hay muchos coaches, muchos gentes, muchos sanadores, podemos llamarlos, que te pueden ayudar.
Thank you very much. Yes, because I have some people that I have some listeners from Mexico that are going to listen to this too, and some people that I will purposely share it with. So um, thank you very much, Monica. I appreciate you. Again, I want to say thank you for sharing a moment of your time with me. I believe that time is one of our most valuable assets, um, and you chose to come here and share some of your time here with me and my audience, and which is our audience. We're all here, and I thank you for your just your encouragement, your motivation, your energy, your just awareness, your enlightening just perspectives, and continue doing what you're doing. I don't have to tell you that, but I'm just encouraging you and commending you on everything that you've been through in your life, and it's led you to this beautiful extraordinary person, woman that you are now, and that you're continually to become. And thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, lot. Thank you very much for this invitation. I really appreciate it. And thank you for all your viewers also at the same time. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Love, appreciation, prosperity, wealth, health to everyone. Thank you. Enlightened, empowered, evolved. See you soon.